Hi, it's Marieta. Thanks for tuning in. In this video, I want to talk about 3 E2 visa myths that you need to know. Coming up. Alright, if you're new here, welcome. Make sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification button. Let's get started. E2 visa myths. What is the myth number 1? Well, the myth number 1 is that you have to hire 10 people. This is not a green card. E2 visa is not a green card, so you have to understand that with E2 visa, you don't necessarily need to show that you have hired anybody. You can hire one person if you need to, or nobody. You need to establish that you have invested substantial amount of capital, or you're in the process of investing substantial amount of capital, but you don't need to show that you have hired people. You don't need to show you have hired 10 full-time people. That is not a requirement with E2 visa. However, it is a requirement with EB5 green card. So that's number 1. Number 2 is that E2 visa, you don't need to invest $100,000 or over $100,000 to obtain E2 visa. In fact, I know this from my experience. I've been practicing law 10 years now, and almost 10 years, and I have helped many E2 visa investors who invested under $100,000 and they got successfully approved E2 visa status. So if you're investing under $100,000, for example, you have a service type of business, service-based business, consulting business, you can totally get E2 visa under $100,000. So it's a myth that you have to actually apply and invest minimum $100,000 or $150,000. That is not accurate information. I know this from experience, but keep in mind that it really depends on a business model, business type. So you also need to understand that you have to show that you have invested substantial amount of capital. In fact, that is the requirement, to show that you have invested substantial amount of capital, and this substantial amount of capital is calculated based on the startup costs that you are incurring depending on your business model, business type in that particular location. And you also need to show that the business is not marginal, so the business is profitable. The business is making money. You are able to sustain your company, yourself, your family, and your living expenses in the United States. So that's number 2. Number 3 is that the E2 visa is a dual intent visa. In fact, E2 visa is not a dual intent visa. E2 visa is non-immigrant visa type without dual intent. That being said, you cannot show dual intent. If you're showing dual intent to immigrate to the United States, you're not going to be approved under E2 visa. E2 visa is only given to people who show and sign affidavit that they are returning back home once they're done with the business in the United States, and they cannot change their status from E2 to a green card in the United States. If they do so, they are violating the status. E2 visa is temporary visa type for people who plan to and want to, and they are investing, and they're in the process of investing, and they're running and managing the business in the United States, and they are not doing anything else. So if you want to actually go from E2 visa to a green card, you cannot necessarily go directly. Like with L visa, for example, which is dual intent visa, you can actually go from L to a green card. With E2, you can do so, but I wouldn't do it through adjustment of status, rather consular processing outside of United States. So you don't actually violate that status, and you don't violate that affidavit that you actually are submitting. And if you want to learn more, what are the requirements? How much do you need to invest to get this E2 visa? I do have a specific training for E2 visa investors below this video. And if you want to talk to me about E2 visa, how you get your E2 visa, what's the best strategy, what do you need to know, you can book a consultation with me. Link is going to be below this video. Also, for those who want to learn more about E2 visa, everything you need to know, I have an entire playlist of 300 free videos for you. What do you need to know if you want to get E2 visa in 2021? Recently, I made a live stream where I did explain the requirements, the best strategy, E2 versus L, and so on. Again, I will be linking the video here for you as well. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you soon. Bye.